Welcome everyone to another day of Blade and Soul Korea. My name is Joe Sophie. Joining with me is going to be Ending Life as always, and we're here finally for the semifinals. We got through the very rigorous days of the quarterfinals. Now we are starting off the best of sevens to see who the best team in Korea for season 2 is. Very much questions up in the air as to kind of season 1 in contrast to what we saw from the best teams out there. It's definitely not the same case in season 2.
Exactly, and you guys will see the matchups of today very soon. And if you guys been following Season 2 for the past couple of weeks, you guys will know what Joel is saying and what we're feeling regards to how, different teams, some teams that we didn't expect came up here. And, we're not saying they don't deserve it. They definitely do deserve it. They made some changes that actually made their team and their composition work out, which brought them up here all the way to the semifinals. But we're going to have to see if that changes made is worth going to the finals or not.
If this is the first time you're watching Season 2 with us for Blade and Soul Korea, you might be surprised at the initial list of the roster that we're going to be showing to you guys today. But at least look at the overview for what we're going to be having. Just 3 more matches to go before we get to decide the best team in Season 2. We're going to be starting off the semifinals today and starting off with match 1 and 2. We're going to be finding out the 4 teams that we've been covering for this past few days, and they're going to be facing off to find out who the winners are going to be, and they're going to be one step closer to going to the finals. We know this is going to be double elimination, which means the one that lost out today, the 2 teams, they'll have another chance next Saturday to see if they can really survive to this play and try to make it still to the finals. But we're going to decide all that from today's matchup.
Exactly. Here we go with today's matchup. Our first match will be Anarchy and Bang, and these 2 teams are actually one of the reasons why we keep saying, the team changes, the player changes, the class changes, and that actually made a positive difference for these teams. And, especially for Bang, who is essentially a rookie team, considering consists of 2 super rookies, quote unquote, Yongjin Shin and Dawn Kim, and you guys have seen them play. If you haven't, you guys are in for a treat today to see them go up against Anarchy, who is also a newly changed team.
Basically, we're looking at 4 teams here with Anarchy, Bang, Kurita Zeus, and GC Busan Red. The only team you might recognize is GC Busan Red, obviously the champions of Season 1, and maybe expected to do it again, but remember, they had to come in as a 2nd seed from Group A. It's not the 1st seed. That was taken by Anarchy just a week ago, and it only goes to show you that Anarchy and Kurita Zeus, formerly known as KKC from Season 1, these are the teams that were the favorites coming from their own respective groups. Kind of what you didn't expect when you started off the season, but you got joined in by the likes of GC Busan and obviously trying to make their way to make it to the semifinal. They barely got that done, but with Bang as well, it's a very interesting opposition when you talk about Yongjin Shin and Jae Kim and Dawn Kim. These players you might not have heard of, but maybe have seen at times. Ever since starting last year, 2017, Yongjin Shin definitely made his mark as one of the better, if not the best, assassin prodigies out here in Korea. Of course, Dawn Kim made his kind of his appearance, debut, right at the Clan Championship this year. So all these new faces joining in, and Bang definitely has found a lot of success when it comes to the Season 2 performances.
Exactly, and looking at Anarchy, Bang, these 2 unexpected. We got to see a lot of Anarchy for the past 3-4 years, previously known as G Touring. Bang, something very new, a rookie team that's been performing very well. But in regards to these 2 teams making it up into the semifinals, they got rid of Kureta and Ideps to not get into the finals, to get eliminated from Season 2 before making it into the semifinals. So, I hope these 2 teams are worth it and they, show us an exciting match.
And we're going to get right into the games, guys. Best of 7, 2 of them to round out the day. Means that could be a very quick one depending on how outmatched the other team is going to be. But here's one of the teams now. Anarchy. We haven't seen them for a very long time since we were going through the losers bracket of the respective groups. These Ks came out, come all the way from Group A as the winners. Better than GC Busan Red. And we're looking at Ubin Cha, Byung Kim, and Kyungmin Park. But biggest story is that Kyungmin Park. He's not on the KFM no longer. He's gonna be on that Soul Fighter. So that icon, you can just ignore for a bit because he's gonna be playing Soul Fighter more often than not.
Yeah, this icon is definitely, like Joel said, they're most played in the previous seasons, including, I guess, this season. But this season, Kyungmin Park, as we mentioned, played the Soul Fighter, so it hasn't been enough plays of the Soul Fighters to replace that KFM icon. So let's hope that he does stay on the Soul Fighter, because every time he played the KFM and they always used to use that old composition, they never made it up past semifinals.
You talk about big career changes, has done him very, very well changing to the Soul Fighter Gaming Park, but we're going to show his opponents.
Ooh.
We're going to look at Bang, extremely popular with the fans now. Yongjin Shin, just that incredible, incredible assassin, and might just be on his way to becoming slowly the best assassin we have here in Korea. And he's going to be joined in by Jae Kim and Dawn Kim as well. Very good in their respective field. These are all rookies, especially maybe Jae Kim has made a few appearances in 2017. Yongjin Shin has made his own fuse in 2017 as well. But all together, these are guys that you probably do not recognize, and for the right reasons. They weren't in the best of teams when they did participate in a few times. And Dawn Kim, a complete fresh new rookie.
Yep.
And coming in, and these guys are ready to take on this Anarchy, former G Touring. These guys have been around the scene for a very, very long time. So against these veterans, see what these rookies can do.
There we go, Joel, as he is always correct. Soul Fighter on Gyeongmin Park. Let's hope that he stays with that, like I said, because every time he goes on the KFM, the results weren't that good. But now I'm interested in Bang, as we talk about this super rookie team, newly developed team, newly made team, going up against such an old veteran team, Anarchy. Let's see if they can perform well. Let's see if they could come on top, because like we said, yesterday's games were crazy with Yongjin Shin and Dawn Kim performing, fantastically.
That's been highlighted today, yesterday, y'all. Just all throughout that last day of quarterfinals, we were going through the losers bracket to see which of the teams that they lost we were gonna have the biggest excitement about. But I think we're not gonna waste any time, guys, because we're gonna go straight on to game one between Anarchy and Bang to see who's gonna get their early advantage in this first tag match. Let's get the match underway. We are ready to start off the match. Soul Fighter Gyeongmin Park starting us off. Yongjin Shin starting off the plays for Bang. Does get caught off and has to use the stealth pretty early in this game here.
All right, landing that back roll chase forces Yongjin Shin to use that stealth, but still has that Lotus down. So we'll see if Yongjin could, kind of trade. But now Lotus has been used. This is not a good way for Yongjin Shin to start the game.
I just have to tag out really early here, Yongjin Shin, but he likes to play with fire most of the time, and he likes to play with these risky plays. And even without these, obviously, escapes coming through, Jae Kim is there for the time distortion if need be. But for the meantime, I think Yongjin Shin is just calling him off for the time being and trying to survive for the longest of time. And here he is already starting off the damage, and now just going for a time distortion finally. This is going to be him just forcing out another interfere, and this is just going straight through. Let's see what he can do.
Right, there we go. He did force out that reactionary 2v2, but ends up tagging out. Jae Kim does come out here on the field for the first time.
Here he is, and we're just going to see what he can do against Gyeongmin Park. Not much done by Yongjin Shin to start off the game, but talk about Hobas all over. It's going to be very good, but the lightning draw that will supplement the damage. It's going to be pretty good to start off for the side of Anarchy, but they're going to just tag off right away, and Woo Bin Cha is going to be coming out for this mirror match for the Warlocks.
If you look at Anarchy's health bar, it's as if they didn't start the fight yet. They're all full HP. This is what happens when you have a Soul Fighter on your team. Yongjin Shin is the only one that's, under half health, but this time around, they're just trading back and forth, just taking hits. Dawn Kim as well as Woo Bin Cha.
Yeah, that's going to be very big to start off, and that's going to force another tag over to Kim for the blade dancing. Yongjin Shin is going to be coming back out as well with a half health, and let's see what he can do with such low HP. Finally has to use the stealth again. And this might be it. This might be the end of Yongjin Shin already. A huge start for Anarchy as he gets the star assassin out of the match in this first 3 minutes.
Wow, Byung Kim. Something that, we do expect plays like this from Byung Kim, always on the blade dancer, but this time around, down.
Woo Bin Cha just really clutching up to play once again, and gets Dawn Kim very, very low. So this rookie team kind of overly excited about yesterday's results, thinking that they can go on autopilot and expect the same result. It's definitely not going to happen that way. And obviously seeing the second man being knocked away means that Bang is going to be off to a bad start in this game number 1.
Yeah, a very bad start. And, we also mentioned that Anarchy hasn't played for a couple of weeks because they were just the winners of Group A from the start. But Bang, they had their warm-ups. They had to come up from the losers bracket, so they should have been warmed up already. But this time around,
talk about that double damage that came in straight away. Side of Anarchy, Wubin-chan really on top of things to get these leeches on in. Just get those aerials and that 3 damage onto your side. And JUK getting caught up once again and has his back roll. And that's going to be it. And no problem for Wubin-chan to finish him off. And really, piece of cake for Anarchy in that game 1. And tag match looking very easy for the veteran team.
Exactly. This is something that I've personally expected from Anarchy, not only against Bang, but against any teams in a tag match. Because, like I always repeatedly mention, they're the team that stuck together forever and ever from the start till now. All these other teams, maybe one-player swaps, they had team swaps, class swaps, but Anarchy, they've just been faithful to each other. And Gyeongmin Park's Soul Fighter change was just amazing, and this team is just complete now.
That's what it is. I think against this rookie team, they're really showing the class of how to really communicate as a team and trying to just provide the synergy really you have between the 3 players if you are Anarchy. And these 3 players, Wubin-chan, Yeonho-kim, and Gyeongmin Park, looking very good as they really show what it's like to have these blade&soul experience in the past and deliver it in the terms of results like this.
Exactly, and if you guys been following Blade&soul scene ever since it changed into the mix and match rather than single separate and tag separate, teamwork is essential. It's good to have some players that are extraordinary in singles. However, teamwork is always on top of just individual skill plays, and we'll see, because the reason I'm mentioning this is because Bang, Yongjin Shin, and Dawn Kim, they're very good. They excel in singles, so we'll see if they'll make a difference or a team with composed teamwork will win at the end of this series.
Well, you know what it is. We got best of 7, so definitely it's not over quite yet. It still has a lot of time and lots of opportunities for Bang to turn things around. But who are we gonna get in that set 2? This first singles that we're gonna get. We saw Yeonho-kim kind of warming up on his keyboard and seeming like he was gonna be the one to represent. There we go. Anarchy is gonna send him on, and Blade Dancer on the mark. And JUK actually is the one to face him off. So Blade Dancer versus Warlock is gonna be our matchup for game number 2.
Exactly, and what a surprise to see JUK come out in singles. This is probably in this season the first time ever they send out JUK in singles, because yes, it has been best of 5s and they wanted to send out Yongjin Shin and Dawn Kim to secure the wins in singles. However, this is best of 7 and you guys can't repeatedly come out until the last set of singles. So, eventually if they go to the long sets, all 3 of them have to play the singles.
And that's what we're going to get. We're going to get ready to get into game number 2 all together through Anarchy and Bang already 1-0 up for the veteran team. See if the rookie team can put up a retaliation. We're going to go on to game number 2, see what the singles look like. So after a heavy toll from that first game, we're returning to game 2 and see what happens from here. Yeonho-kim starting off very casually with no lightning draw on this double knockup here.
Well, but he did get that one aerial combo. Here we go with the tether blade to the straight up knockup from JUK, unable to continue for that double knockup and the continual damage. But he is definitely answering back, and there we go, another knockup.
You can see the throw just bothering the Blade Dancer for the time being, now returning to his master, but for the meantime, Yeonho-kim untroubled, and once again, gets him down. Has that time distortion to see if all the cooldowns can come back. Maybe another series of rotations to be looked at for this JUK. Very good rotation and a lot of damage that comes through on the aerial.
JUK managing his chi very well as Yeonho-kim. JUK definitely staggering and not doing the conventional combo of a Warlock. it's actually working out for him right now. You know, in the beginning I was kind of surprised. You know, Jae Kim had the chances to do that damage outburst, but he's just switching it up a little bit, and it is actually confusing Byung Kim right now.
It is, but we're going to see another counter-attack coming from the Blade Dancer, Byung Kim, getting him up in the, not in the second area, but just gets a complete knockdown in with the lightning draw, catches him off guard, so this is on that time escape timing, and has to do it a little bit late for the Warlock, and takes a lot of damage as a result. Okay, look at this. Just a huge amount of damage that doesn't finish him off, but still looking like a dangerous situation for Byung Kim. He doesn't have a lot of damage HP to work with, but he still has that time escape in case of an emergency. But will he have time to do it? This can be the stun that will come through, and the second area will be enough, and not even needed as Byung Kim collects that win once again for Anarchy. Now 2-0 advantage.
All right, well, you know, Jae Kim, I thought he had something in the bag, something up his sleeve. However, Byung Kim just stayed calm, even though he was very low on health compared to Jae Kim's health in the mid-game. At the end of the day, Jae Kim getting CC'd without any escapes, that is very crucial, even for a Warlock that has 2 escapes. When you're out of both, you're basically done, even though it's a Blade Dancer against you.
Really is, and the Blade Dancer just looking like chipping away every single time he had the charge there, and great damage coming from that lightning draw. That was actually the crucial one. That got some critical damage onto the side of that Warlock, and Jae Kim tried to fight back, very close to knocking him away, but we know he had the tab escape. Byung Kim had all the escapes available. Basically, he just looked for that one opportunity to get that one extra stun, which he got right there, and that was going to be the finish to clinch up that 2-0 advantage now.
Yeah, very well played by Byung Kim. Jae Kim also, I'm going to be honest, give him some props because he played very well. He switched up his combos a little bit. He definitely tried to keep his distance and poke him out. And that actually worked out almost until the end when he just, you know, ran out of escapes and ran out of anything to do while he was CC'd and into the aerial, and unfortunately did get knocked out. But now we're moving on to set 3. Tag match.
Set 3 will be another tag match. No roulette until we get to the next one. Meaning, really could be anything here. And Anarchy looked extremely strong against Bang, who seemed a little bit inexperienced in terms of the communication between the teammates, and it never really looked all that same in terms of skill level difference. But Anarchy, can they show it again with the same composition that has worked so well with Kyung Park? On the Soul Fighter has been the change of his lifetime, and also with the teammates really stepping up today. Woo Bin Cha and Byung Kim on those Warlock and Blade Dancer respectively has done extremely well in game 1. If they can replicate the result, I don't see Bang coming back on this one.
Yeah, I know, it looks very solid on the side of Anarchy. Like, usually when we see Anarchy perform in tag matches, we always kind of point out which player was kind of lacking, but today they just seem complete.
Really just seem ready to take this by the horns. Anarchy looking to dominate this result coming in from Bang, and we're going to see this game 3 extends that lead over to 3-0. Let's get the match underway. Extreme frustration.
Yes.
For Bang.
Yes.
For nobody else, obviously.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
we're looking for Anarchy to see what they can do out of this situation. Young Shin trying to find out. A little bit early. Good poison breath, obviously in close shape. That does some damage for the earlier parts of the game, but can he hold on?
He's definitely showing his frustration against Anarchy right now. But again, Lotus of Escape and Stealth used at the same time back-to-back, causing Jae Kim to come in for the time distortion.
Okay, we're looking at it now. The close wire.
Oh, pulled him in!
Execute. Very nice damage there.
But look at it. Look at Kyungmin Park's health. Very nice damage, but he basically like re-rolled it.
Yep, he literally did. The healing effects coming from the Soul Fighter is quite top-notch, and it's gonna get him to tag out, so mission accomplished there for the side of Bang. For the meantime, they still have to hold on as Young Shin trying all he can with no escapes in a dangerous situation, so just counting on Down Kim on that defensive interfere to help him out in case something happens, but he's gonna stick around. Obviously, no time distortion once again because the cooldown is already in effect.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Young Shin forced out 3 interferes and 1 tag points from Anarchy by himself.
That's good.
So that's a plus as long as he stays alive. Yeah.
Another tag point being forced out. Young Kim is out onto the field, but having a hard time. Young Shin is going to be countered in, and once again, we talked about Down Kim on the defensive interfere. Very poised, coming from that timely manner here.
Exactly, and now down Kim, only one interfere left. You might want to save it, and Jae Kim starts to come in. Let's hope. There we go. Jae Kim comes in right away for that reactionary 2v2. Youngjin Shin, 1 second left for the force tag.
Minimizes the damage and not gonna allow any type of chase. Get the counter chase actually. So on the other end, so down Kim, very nicely done. Talked about this rookie destroyer done so well throughout the season, and like he's gonna continue on. This game 3 needs to be different for Bang. Otherwise, a 3-0 deficit will make it extremely tough for these guys.
Yeah, there we go. Down Kim on the offensive.
So that 27 combo, he's been at it, just constantly damaging out his opponent. And Soul Fighter Park now trying to counter back.
Yeah. Kyungmin Park definitely stayed patient, did not use his tab escape when it was unnecessary. Down Kim definitely kind of was looking out for that escape to be used, but it was unused. So they're definitely playing their mind games right now. But another stun landing.
Another stun does have that tab escape Kyungmin Park. If he chooses to use it, he will have it in time. He's gonna get knocked back into the wall bang. No escapes now. If you're trying to get through it, that's gonna be Youngjin Shin coming in for that offense and interfere with that poison bread. Enough damage to knock off Kyungmin Park in this earlier parts of the game, and the Soul Fighter being out is bad news for Anarchy.
Oh gosh, this is a very bad news. Very well played by Down Kim. Puts the Ember Stomp down, grabs him, pretends that he's gonna drop him there, but runs to the wall and then starts the wall bang. And Bang, they definitely have stuff prepared, and they're starting to show it one by one.
It really plays some mind games there, found the destroyer. You talked about basically that tab escape could have been used at any time by Kyungmin Park, but really we're just saving it to the end and really regrets it. When you get to that wall, you really have no choice to not use it. So just when you get that opportunity lost for you, and obviously Youngjin Shin coming for that interfere, is going to be able to finish off the Soul Fighter in no time.
Alright, we'll have to see if the two, Woo-Bin Cha and Byung-Woo Kim, will be able to defeat Bang, or their momentum of 2-0 win streak will be ended here in this round 3.
This Warlock mirror match, obviously very important for the side of Jae Kim and Bang, because you already got one man knocked away, and getting a second man knocked away should boost your confidence quite a bit. And now we're seeing Down Kim once again, very nice defensive interference, no damage coming to its opponent. Oh my word, that's an execute damage for a mouthful. And we're gonna see this just continue in, and Youngjin Shin's gonna be coming back out onto the field. See what this assassin can do once again. He's been pretty successful in the first rounds.
He's definitely been playing it super aggressive. He's always been playing it aggressive. We got no chase actually happened here, unfortunately, for Youngjin Shin.
The land might be planted, but very far away from the Blade Dancer, meaning that Youngjin Shin has to look for it elsewhere in terms of putting out the damage. And now putting the webbing on the ground. And what he's going to do? Puts a stun on. Get the bombard with the close shade. Is going to start off the damage. And
back roll chase.
Back roll chase is very successful, but still has a tab escape on Kim. If he wants to get out, saving it for a very long time and taking a lot of damage for it, he has to use it.
Well, there we go, body swap. He's definitely going to have to use it very soon, because he might not even have time to be...
This might be the second time where we see Anarchy members not use the tab escape to get out and just die off with it.
Yep. Youngjin Shin used that Lotus of Escape. There we go.
Okay, we're still seeing Byung-Woo Kim being extra passive the way he goes with. Once again, body swap comes through.
See?
And look at that. Once again, dies with no tab escape being used.
Get close shaved. Oh, gosh. You saved it too long, Anarchy. You had your lead. You have to be careful. You can't play too safe.
Talk about being overconfident about things. You think that you're going to get that right timing to use that tab escape when you thought that Kyungmin Park would have done so, but having learned that mistake, obviously Byung-Woo Kim didn't learn that mistake because he's feeling it once again.
Yeah, situations like this not for Woo-Bin Cha, who has no tag points, but for Kyungmin Park or Byung-Woo Kim, the way they died is, they tried
Look at this, another tab escape not being used. Finally uses it. But is that a little bit too late? That's what I'm just assuming, because it feels like Down Kim execute damage is gonna be able to finish him off, and man, finding their confidence, regaining the momentum they built up yesterday. And this might be on a good run for these guys. See how long they can continue with this.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because that was a very good comeback for Bang. But as I was saying during the matches, there's always a dilemma in when you have one tag point left, especially for Byung-Woo Kim and Kyungmin Park. We saw that they were saving their tab escape. But now now we know the results, and Anarchy ended up losing. Now I'm thinking, why not just use the tab escape early? And you had that one tag point. I know he wanted to save it for the later games, but it's better than dying, I think. Tab escape out, tab escape out and then tag out. Yes, you'll use your last tag point very early in the game. You see the clock right now, 8 minutes, and they already have 1 tag points left. That's not good. Just the fact that they couldn't manage it, but it's better than dying.
I mean, it's result-oriented speaking, right?
Yeah,
but we're
of
talking about the
course.
results and seeing what would have happened if they had not saved that. But in a very skewed perspective, that was a very greedy play by Anarchy, by the 2 members, because they felt like they wanted to save those resources for a later moment in the game. But you're not going to have a later moment when you die out.
Exactly. So, yeah, like you said, we know the results, so we're kind of, backing the plays of the losing team and thinking what they could have done. I know, and we understand why they were saving it. We know why they were being passive, they were being defensive, and, maybe a little greedy on saving their tab escape and their tag points. But at the end of the match, we know the results, and, maybe they could have done, at least one of the players could have done that and, stayed alive.
Here we are finally at the mid-stage of this series and see what we're going to get for this match number 4. It seems like a tag will be another one will be underway.
It's not going to that singles,
Definitely not going that far. So it's not going to be another single, it's going to be another tag. So we're going to have a lot of tag in this series. 4 to be exact, if we can get to a full set. But for the meantime, Bang is looking to fight back and see if they can really pull off that play that they did in set 3. Not like the one in set 1, obviously, is not the best plays for Bang, but set 3 has looked really good for this rookie team against a veteran that is shaken up just a little bit. So now that one game has gone over to this rookie team, can Bang extend this and maybe even things out at 2-2?
I think it's very possible because, in set 1, it seems like Bang did not communicate at all, but in set 3, we saw some of the combos that they worked on with the Destroyer, doing the wallbang and Young-Ji-Shin coming in, with Jae Kim putting the opponent in the aerial, and, down Kim coming in with the execute damage. So, we noticed a very big difference, and in set 1 it felt like Bang did not communicate. In set 3 they started communicating, they started executing their plans, and it definitely worked out for them.
And here we are, the same composition that these 2 teams found lots of success in their own respective rounds on, because these come from different groups. Anarchy coming from Group A had to beat out GC Busan Red, had to beat out very tough opponents obviously, but Bang coming from Group B, they had their own different perspectives and different opponents they had to beat out, and now they're here at 2nd place. So really different perspectives on what they have been facing for the past few weeks. But here we're looking at obviously Anarchy trying to fight through as the pride of Group A, see what they can make out of this rookie team. But Bang really trying to play for their pride here, because it feels like they've got a really good momentum going since yesterday, and they want to push that through, maybe all the way to the finals.
Yeah, and if they do make it to the finals with this momentum, it would be super good on their paper and on their record. But I'm gonna be honest, even if Bang does get eliminated today, or well, actually no, they don't get eliminated, but even if they lose today, their achievements for this season was amazing. They definitely left the mark on the blade&soul history in season 2. So, we'll see what the outcome is, but, for Bang, amazing plays.
And we're gonna see what happens here, because Anarchy and Bang was getting much more interesting after Bang took that set 3. Can they take another set in the set for another tag match coming up? We are in now, obviously less frustrated by the side of Bang after they got that set 3 victory. Set 4 should be very good for them. Very aggressive start by Young-Ji-Shin once again.
Yeah, and Young-Ji-Shin by himself when he's on the field, his plan is definitely don't give the opponent the time to breathe, the time to think.
And the time to stutter, obviously, but we're looking at this now, and Young-Ji-Shin just really putting the aggression on. Does have to use that stealth, so can come in, use that time distortion, and finally gets all those nice escapes right back to her. But Jimmy Park finding it difficult in this early game to fight against this rookie assassin.
Playing it super aggressive. having all of their escape on both sides. They are just going aggressive. There we go, stealth finally out.
Okay, but that's going to equal to another stun coming through, and the tap escape now used for the Soul Fighters. Gyeongmin Park now just trying to go for the counter damage while he knows that the assassin does not have the stealth on there. Still, Youngshin very, very safe in this 2v1. No problem for him whatsoever.
Oh, Shadow Slash to the body swap.
Yeah, that's very important.
It's the
Look
area!
at it.
Oh
my
gosh.
Lord. This is the start of Bang. This is kind of what we remember from yesterday, and this is kind of a reminder as to this rookie team should not be scoffed at. And another quick elimination of the first member. Gyeongmin Park as a Soul Fighter being out, that's crucial for Anarchy.
That was just disgusting. I feel bad for Gyeongmin Park not tagging out. And I know he didn't expect that kind of combo, and that defensive interfere came in from Anarchy as well, and Gyeongmin Park still was focused down.
It literally is, and the easiest offensive interfere in the world for Jae-Yoon Kim. You just have to go in, already have the plate ready to be served, and just go for that whole bit of damage, and you know you're going to get the kill right away. And if you're in the side of Gyeongmin Park and Anarchy, what are you supposed to think right now?
You know, I don't know. Let's hope that they're not tilted. That's all I'm hoping.
I mean, tilted is another prospect that we should be focused on, but what's the most immediate is that basically they're one man down. Look at it be another half man down as Woo Bin Cha takes 50% HP just like that.
Yeah, after, you know, we thought after seeing set 1, Anarchy definitely had the upper hand in tag, but maybe just Bang was just trying to make them underestimate them.
Literally got there over complacent just a little bit, and in a good way as well, because Jae-Yoon Kim, man, comes to the shackle once again into a stun, and easy damage once again. No way for them to damage out the opposition as Byeon Kim tries to come in, but what is he to do as a blade dancer?
Do a knockdown and get back into the bench.
Literally?
That's literally what just happened, and now we do have that Warlock mirror match.
That's what we're getting. The Warlock mirror match looking one-sided, not towards Anarchy, but actually towards Bang. And this is going to be the interesting one as Down King comes in with that tag point being used. And another knockdown, very clean in the way that was executed. Byeon Kim is going to be forced to tag out. And oh my goodness, Anarchy just really lost as to what they're supposed to do.
Persistence Ember stomps down. There we go.
Typhoon, is it going to get the wall bang on? Almost very guilty, but Byeon Kim does get out of an angle.
Alright, fine grid. Byeon Kim's trying to take that offensive stance here, try to take away the advantage that Down Kim had. There we go with the knockdown.
Knockdown does happen, but no continuation damage from the Blade Dancer, but just means that the Destroyer still aggressive as ever.
Alright, the Flock of Blades knocking Down Kim back. Byeon Kim will get his escape in 10 seconds. Down Kim has his gust. See how he'll play, how he'll approach this.
Look at it now, like, oh my, that's an ugly, ugly lightning draw if I've ever seen one. And talk about preemptive lightning draw, sometimes looking very good, but that one,
That's all I have to say.
I could have used a better lightning draw than that one. That's a shame as well. And the fact that Joel can use a better lightning draw than you can do. Byeon Kim has to look for some type of comeback on this one because that one is not looking good.
Definitely not in Youngshin. Once again, as always, just on the offensive, and the ult does land a couple hits.
Okay, just a few stacks on that, but we're still looking towards Woo Bin Cha. It's going to be coming back onto the field. Basically, no tag points for Byeon Kim means that Woo Bin Cha has to save his, unless this team's going to be just raining thirsty. Oh my goodness, execute damage and the poison breath. That's the damage that's going to get you for Youngshin and Down Kim on the combo.
Woo Bin Cha surprised, gathering his thoughts.
Gathering your thoughts, you say. He doesn't have time to do that. He's going to just die in the moments of time. And look at that high wire looking like he was going to get through, but the Warlock ultimate does not connect. And all together, we're looking at the other way. And look at the image bug just showing that basically they have nothing to translate over. All this domination coming in from the side of Bang has been relentless and one-sided. Byeon Kim, he's going to be out in the field, but knowing that he's not going to be able to survive for very long.
Definitely not. Look at his health bar. No teammates for help. You know, Gyeongmin Park. 2 tags, 3 interferes. You know, whenever I see that kind of score on a dead person, it just makes me cringe.
And just a single-handed finish for Down Kim.
Yeah.
This is looking very different than game number 1.
It definitely is. It was an illusion.
And really is getting stronger over time. I think Bang is just getting better and better as the days go by.
Exactly. Exactly, because Bang is a new team, as we said before. All they have to go is up. Whereas Anarchy, they've stayed together. They have their teamwork. They're already molded into a piece, and it is possible for them to get better, as we saw when Gyeongmin Park changed the Soul Fighter. But today, the Soul Fighter is definitely backfiring and maybe too much confidence.
For Game 3 and Game 4, Gyeongmin Park was always the first man to go out.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you how useless today's Soul Fighter has been. Obviously, the Soul Fighter was one of the key reasons Anarchy was able to get first place in Group A and get to this stage right now in the semifinals. But you gotta keep that going because the tournament's not over yet. You have to get to the finals and win the finals to become the champion of Season 2, or else you're not gonna be remembered for the rest of the tournament.
Exactly, and Bang being the second place team of Group B, if Anarchy loses to a second place team on Group B, that just shows also that Group B's first place is even stronger than that.
Exactly, and that's what we're gonna get. Just looking like just didn't even have time to connect that Warlock Ultimate, chain it to his body, and this is what we're getting. Just too quickly, they are dying out one by one, and really super scary rookies as written by the fans and Yongjin Shin fans all over it.
Fireworks.
There he goes, and that's kind of the explosiveness that he brings to his game. Just fireworks all over it. Singles. All we're going to see Yongjin Shin just literally put the cream on the crop. And literally say that you guys are worse than we are. I mean, they've been playing for years. They've been on this Blade and Soul pro scene for years now. You talk about Woo Bin Cha, Byung Kim, Gyeongmin Park. We've seen these guys forever now.
Yeah.
They've always been a little bit above average. Maybe they weren't below average at any time, but they were never the best.
Yeah.
And we thought that Anarchy switching over to the Soul Fighter for Gyeongmin Park would have kind of raised that cap just a little bit, maybe made them a little bit better. But Yongjin Shin, as I was saying, is going to be the one to make appearance. Who's going to be his opponent? Gyeongmin Park on the KFM. What does that tell you, Andy?
Well, he's going back to the KFM. That results, as I said before, it's always been negative. Yeah, not positive, negative, but just the fact that Soul Fighter has also proved to be negative in today's games, maybe today's just a KFM day for Gyeongmin Park, is what I want to believe.
I mean, Gyeongmin Park, KFM's a negative, Soul Fighter's a negative, but double negative doesn't make it a positive. It doesn't work that way. That's not how it works mathematically here today for Blade and Soul, but for today, we're going to see if Yongjin Shin can really prove once again that Gyeongmin Park, it wasn't the Soul Fighter, it wasn't the KFM, it was just Gyeongmin Park that was doing that. We're going to find out if that happens in this game number 5. You know the typical phrase that, it's not the calculator that's the problem, it's the user of the calculator that's the problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about KFM, it wasn't about the Soul Fighter. Gyeongmin Park just played bad today. Yongjin Shin, I think he's going to be ready to prove that to him once again.
Gyeongmin Park definitely clicked the wrong numbers. It's not working out, but we'll have to see how it works out. Here we go once again.
That's going to be the close shade poison. You can't really stand around with Yongjin Shin's damage thinking that you can tab escape a little bit later. It doesn't work that way for Yongjin Shin. His combos are too quick, and you're going to get wiped out very, very quickly if you don't use the tab escape early enough.
Yep, and we see Gyeongmin Park coming back with that back row chase, leading into a lot of damage here. Yongjin Shin definitely saving his stealth. Enough health to do so right now. There we go, he just saves it.
Not even going to have to use Tab Escape at all, and just takes about 30% damage, which is going to be very casual for this assassin to move on.
10 seconds left on the Gyeongmin Park. CC Tab Escape comes back. Yongjin Shin wants to land that CC, but gets aerialed.
Once again, just going to find himself to another stun. Second aerial that will continue on the damage, and can he get another stun through it? Might just have to use a stealth there, and there you go. And once again, a stun right back, and this might be the chance for the side of a good back roll chase for Yongjin Shin to still move on.
Ooh!
He's gonna get that nice mine, still moving through Gyeongmin Park. He's around for the meantime, and is he gonna use a Tab Escape now? He does, and
alright, now it's time for just
might be it.
Oh!
Does he have to load us down?
Yes, he does.
Okay, but he doesn't use it.
Oh, wait, maybe. Wow,
maybe
but either way.
Maybe he didn't have to load us down.
But either way, Gyeongmin Park definitely doing a great job coming back. I was about to say when Gyeongmin Park used his escape, One more CC from Youngjin Shin is going to end it. However, it was the other way around. Gyeongmin Park aerial, and just finished Youngjin Shin off.
Great stuff from Youngjin Shin from the earlier parts of the game. We thought that he might be on a roll, and just putting out that damage, we know he does so well. But Park chipping away slowly as we know with the KFM. And on that initial stun, a little bit later, forcing out the tap escape. The stealth is going to be going on right there. And the 35 seconds was long enough for Gyeongmin Park to put out the
So let's see here. He puts the Lotus down, and the fight's been going on. I'm pretty sure the Lotus did end up disappearing, like you said, Joe. We'll have to see here at the end of this replay. Oh, it's not going to show that part, but
don't think that would've been long enough.
I'm assuming that the Lotus did disappear because...
Is that long enough for the Lotus to disappear? It felt like that was a little bit short of a time.
It was. That's what I was thinking when you asked me. It should be down, but it's like it could have disappeared, but we'll have to believe that it did disappear. And Gyeongmin Park, either way, it was Youngjin Shin's fault not to use it, even if it was there. And Gyeongmin Park did put him in the air at the end, so you can't use it. So either way, well played by Gyeongmin Park.
A little bit confusion in the terms of the face of Youngjin Shin, as you can see from his expression, but they can't really stay thinking for too long because they're going to have to get ready for this next tag up. We talk about the 4th tag match of the series.
Wow.
It's coming to a long one ending, and now we're going to see the Bang on the same one. Anarchy, are they going to KFM?
Nope.
They're still going to be sticking on the Soul Fighter, feeling like this is going to work out, but as we've seen from the past, this composition did not work them out other than game 1.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because Anarchy definitely has to make something different, make some changes to their plays, because they've already made changes to their classes. Gyeongmin Park bringing out the Soul Fighter, but we'll have to see if Anarchy is ready to face Bang again with different strategies with same classes.
We're going to see what happens through here, and as we're going to get to the last tag match of the series, Anarchy and Bang, very even on the scoreline. Who's going to get very much the advantage? We're going to find out this next match. Now we know that basically it could all be over for Bang if Anarchy wins the next one. Best out of 4. Wants to get to the 4 points earliest. Be the ones to win out. Damage.
Wow,
really
the
good
wall
damage
just
coming
disappeared.
in. Very nicely done by the Execute. Coming from down Kim, very early interfered to get that done, and Youngjin Shin definitely knows what to do against this Warlock now.
Well, Youngjin Shin, let's see what he'll provide for us today. Another defensive interference coming in.
Look at this now, and Youngjin Shin still trying to figure out what he can do, stealth it out, and be the one to just still put the pressure on towards Wu Wing-chan. Wu Wing-chan finding it difficult to survive against Assassin for the first round.
The Lotus escapes. A reactionary 2v2 right now coming in, but at the end of the day, Anarchy on the downside.
It really is, and losing out on that trade, that's going to result to another tag out. Already for this first minute of the game, Gyeongmin Park coming back out of the field.
Too much damage right now. Gyeongmin Park will get his escape back now.
Incredible damage, and that's coming through from Youngjin Shin, and we want to push through. Down he comes back, but very nice chase that comes off the tag, and that's going to be crucial. Is Down Kim going to just die out? Literally was on the field for 5 seconds.
Yeah. I think he's done more with that interfere that he came in and got rid of the thrall at the beginning of the game, and that's all he did, and Down Kim does get eliminated.
And all of a sudden, Anarchy now is looking good to finish off the series, and Bang, of all the hype that they've been building up since yesterday, it could all be gone basically in just one game here.
It's just one game, like you said, and Anarchy coming back, composed. They knew their mistakes and they've changed it. They're using their interfere points, they're using their tag points early, and they don't care as long as they stay alive. And at the end of the day, Down Kim does get eliminated.
That's what it is, and JK wants to stay on the field and contribute for his team, but Youngjin Shin's going to be coming back out once again. A nice chase being efforted. That's going to result to the stealth being out, and there's no escape. The Lotus might not even be behind the down for the side of Assassin, and this might be a situation where Youngjin Shin has to be extra careful, knowing that his obstacles are very slim now.
There we go, reducing the Lotus. There we go, Lotus used.
Just tag out.
No escapes, yeah. Now you have to tag out.
Okay, Yoshin playing with the fire a little bit too much now, and I don't see this being a good thing. J-Kim is pretty healthy, and this might be a chance. There he goes. Finally does get the tag out, despite our worries.
Does get the tag, JU, but he definitely has to stay alive for a long time. There we go.
Getting on the stun. Chains in. The time distortion on by J-Kim. Wants to continue on and see what damage he can put out.
Ground Ripple into the area, Windstorm combo.
There's no escaping from that one, and the Airborne is continue on with the damage. J-Kim.
Look at Youngjin's health. He interfered in and he tried to make something out of it. Yeah. He almost died.
And he had to use his stealth to get out of that one, so in the case that he has to come back in, he's going to have no escape.
Yeah. We'll see how long JU is able to stay alive, but not for long.
That's it. And just
ooh, and he has it.
just standing out. He's so frail on this body, and that's going to be just him tripling down. And okay, victory. After all that, we thought that Bang might be just reliving yesterday's glory and continuing on, but kind of sad as it is, they're eliminated from the tournament, just kind of already going to the loser's bracket, and now it's going to be the ones to really fight through to get that last place in the finals.
Yeah, you know, Bang definitely had a good run. They did get eliminated or knocked down per se to the loser's bracket. This is the semifinals. Nobody gets eliminated, but you know, Bang did get quote-unquote eliminated from this upper bracket. Now they're going to be moved down and wait for the second matchup's losers to play that out next week. But Bang definitely showing, they're confusing me. Ups and downs. Ups and downs. They show us as if, yeah, we're going to just win it out. We're going to cut their momentum off, make it ours, and just make it a 4-2 win. But all of a sudden, they go back to their old self. They go back to 2017 where, you know, they start making mistakes. They make rookie mistakes. And, you know, at the end of the day, Anarchy does come out on top. And it was a close game, though.
You do need a lot more consistency in this best of sevens to make sure you get the most out of these results. But Anarchy has been the more consistent one of the two, and that's why they find themselves as the winners as they move on to the winner's bracket, which they're going to be feeling very happy about. No point of elimination for these guys.
Exactly, and you know, you saw Anarchy's faces just now. It's so rare to see them smile, even a small smirk, because they always go up to the semifinals and then they end up losing. They always get eliminated in, you know, the group of 8s in the quarterfinals. So we rarely get to see them smile, but this time around they are very happy.
And we're going to go to a short break, guys. When we're back, we're going to come with Group B, the top of Group B and the second place of Group A for the next round of semifinals. We're going to be back after a break.
이상형 월드컵을 한번 가보도록 하겠습니다. 네. 최성진, 박진유 하나 둘 셋. 박진유 좋습니다. 김신겸, 한준호 하나 둘 셋. 한준호. 자 그러면 한준호, 박진유 하나 둘 셋. 한준호 선수. 한준호 선수의 매력 어떤 것 때문에?
게임을 너무 잘해서 그 동글동글한 안에 나타냅니다. 완전 매력이 있어요.
뚱뚱한 사람 비하한 겁니까?
약간 그렇지 않습니다.
경기를 이제 준비하고 계신데 지금 심정이 어떠세요?
근데 경력이 좀 많다 보니까 별로 긴장이 안 될 줄 알았는데요.
네.
생각보다 좀 떨리고요. 이번에 지면 떨어지는 거거든요.
비무장에서는 저를 모르는 친구가 없었기 때문에 대회 한번 꼭 나가보고 싶었거든요.
나와보니까 어때요?
별거 없더라고요.
맞지? 수상 기록 보시면요, 저를 따라잡을 사람이 없거든요. 그걸 볼 때마다 많이 했구나. 요새는 없는 것 같아요. 네. 작년까지 좀 있었는데 요새
나를 제외하고 나머지 중에 제일 잘하는 사람은?
여기 2명 딱 제가 데리고 있는 딱 2명. 네, 딱 천상계와 인간계 중에 그 사이. 네.
중간계에 살고 있고 본인은 천상계, 천상천하 유아독교. 어디서 올라오셨어요?
저기 경남에서 왔습니다.
경남에서?
옥수동현 춘천에서 온
강동구에서 온 일산.
대구에서 제주도에서 온
제주도에서 오셨다고요? 네. 벌써 토너먼트 가면 여기에는 진출해보고 싶다.
브라질. 브라질.
어떤 의도가 좀 느껴지는.
뜨겁잖아요. 근데 우리 이 불사 토너먼트 이 블레이드&소울 게임 자체가 화끈한 액션의
맞죠.
정점이잖아요.
네네.
액션하면 또 그분의 그 쌍바 리듬이라든가 이런 것들을 잘
쌍바
맞으니까.
검사.
유비도 잘 챙겨주고
네.
아주 착한 유저예요.
야, 정확하게 고인물처럼 대답하셨습니다. 유비를 잘 챙겨주고.
색 서버 숨는다고 숨었는데 문파명이 보인다면 죽여줄 때 문파원 모집하고 있어요. 전장 유저 환영.
기존 링검사입니다.
본인이 본인의 지존 링검사다. 벌써 고여 있어요. 굉장히 썩어 있습니다.
링검사가 귀여워가지고
아,
제가
귀여워서.
빠지게 되었습니다.
남편세요, 어떻게 하세요?
역해하죠.
네.
이게 뭐죠? 한기발산으로 장악 넘기긴 했습니다만 이 걸리면 따닥! 상태에서 안 올랐고요. 따닥! 들어갈 따닥 들어갑니다. 따닥! 이거 4번 반 들어가는 거 정확하게 맞춰오죠.
네, 체력도 한계가 와요. 여기 되면 죽어요.
자, 슈타 캐치.
반격, 반격.
두고요.
네, 조금 더 밀어넣고.
유산도 탈출이 있어야 되고
밀어넣고.
스킬 빼라였어요. 스킬 빼라였어요.
네. 이건 아직 나에게는 체력이 있다.
탈출기 바로 쓰고요. 탈출기.
도끼가 나가야 도끼가. 도끼 나에게 도끼가 물어.
몰라 이거 몰라 이거 몰라 이거 아직 몰라요. 아직 몰라요. 이거 몰라요.
자.
탈출기 들어왔습니다. 김치가 기절. 안 돼요.
실패.
재성진 생명력이 너무 없어.
돌고.
자, 밀어내기. 그리고 여기서 띄우고요.
여기다 놓고 나 집어 던지고.
배성진
예.
캐치하면 이겨요. 캐치하면. 거의 우승이에요.
And welcome back, guys, to Blade and Soul Korea. We're back to us, and that just means that the last match of the day is going to be very much underway very soon here. We saw Anarchy and Bang. We thought maybe the retaliation of the rookies might be happening for that first series. Definitely did not turn out to be that case. Very close to maybe get their roll going, but before it got going, it definitely came to a quick halt.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we almost did see that reverse sweep coming when, the Bang cut off the momentum of Anarchy 2-0, and they made it to 2-2, and that was the end of the day. And that was the end of it all for Bang, and they are in the losers bracket now, unfortunately. But like you said, Joel, they definitely showed us a match. They showed us an exciting game where it's possible, even for the rookies, to go up against a veteran that's stuck together for 4 years. So, Bang, don't lose hope. Let's hope that they could come back somehow from the losers bracket, because this is double eliminations. They're not done yet, so it all depends who they face in their losers bracket, depending on who wins and loses in this next matchup.
The third place team can still technically make it to the finals on that final day next Sunday, but altogether it just has to be Bang kind of picking things back up together depending on who loses here. That's going to be their opponents for the next round, but before they can face off of that one, they need to really kind of focus within themselves to make sure they have that winning mentality back on forward, and that should get them good enough results to get to the final time.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like we're going to go look at the teams that will be playing for our second match today. And our first team here, as we see on our camera, team profile of Kudeta Zeus.
And we're looking at this KKC formerly named team, joined in by Byungchun Jun. It's going to be the one to start us off here, and very nice here. As the Duggan Kang and Sang Kim doing well to become the top place team in Group B. And here they are, looking just as confident as ever, really showing the veteran status has proved them worthwhile. And you talk about Byungchun Jun kind of coming out of nowhere. He's been very solid and very fundamental in terms of his doing his basics to stand up in line, to provide the support and provide the damage when you need to, but been a very solid player overall.
Exactly, he's not greedy. He knows his place for now. He just supports Duggan Kang and Sang Kim, and like you said, Joe, he knows the fundamentals, he knows the foundation of the game, the basics, so he just doesn't overextend. He just comes in. I'm pretty sure Duggan Kang is on the shot calling, and he is telling Byungchun Jun to come in and out whenever he feels necessary.
But here are their opponents, Yoontae-sun, Junho Han, and Sungin Choi, making up the GC Busan Red, the Season 1 champions, coming into Season 2. A bit weaker, you have to say. They're coming as not as the number 1 seed, but number 2 seed of Group B, Group A, I would have to say. But that just goes to show you that GC Busan Red, although they are now here in the semifinals, all excited and ready to go, they haven't been the same prospects as we kind of expected of them, based on the results of Season 1, and just basically looking at this roster, looking at the overall expectation for what we can expect out of these players, hasn't been the case for Season 2 so far.
Yeah, and I'm very curious as to how this second matchup will play out, because in our first match, Anarchy did come out on top. They were the number 1 seed from Group A. So will Kudeta Zeus, the number 1 seed from Group B, also come out on top, or will the second seed of Group A, GC Busan Red, come out on top?
Interestingly, we're having almost the same composition, but kind of 2017 meta for Kudeta Zeus, bring out the Assassin and the same supporting units of Destroyer and Warlock. GC Busan Red's going to bring out the new meta with the Gunslinger in that same supporting unit as the Destroyer and the Warlock. Very much a used to category when it comes to the category of the composition that we've been used to so far in 2018. Means that the classic meta still works, but the Gunslinger brings a little bit of flair.
It definitely does, and with Byungyeon Jun, the Kudeta Gunslinger, probably the number 1 gunslinger in Korea for now, is eliminated. So now all we have to look out for is Yoontae-sun's Gunslinger, and let's see if his Gunslinger will do the job for GC Busan Red.
When the opportunity does arise, the Gunslinger can put out just an immense amount of damage, and we know how that can turn the tides of the game, and GC Busan Red has looked pretty good since yesterday, so can they keep that momentum going and really push forward to say that we are still the best team in the season, but you have to prove your worth to get that statement through.
Definitely, and like we mentioned over and over, they are the second seed of their respective groups, so we'll see if they can slowly prove to us, to you guys, and to the live audience that they are the previous Season 1 champions.
And we're, I think, going to slowly start to get ready to go on this one, because Kudeta Zeus formerly known as KKC. They're the ones to really see how far they can get with this roster. We talked about usually the Jung Ho-yoon, who used to be very much intact with these two other players, Duggan Kang and Sang Kim, is not in that same roster anymore. And he's going to be there on the other side of GC Busan on the other end of things. But for the meantime, and it seems like we're having a little bit of difficulty getting into the game, so it might have to be a little bit of a delay before we get into the first game.
Yeah, it won't be a long delay. If I heard correctly, the voices from the above telling me that it was just a little bit of a UI. I can't say it's a bug. It's just a UI not showing for one of the players. So, you know, they're just going to quickly reset the game, and I'm pretty sure it will be fixed. And you guys don't have to see our faces again because that's bad news. That means it's going to take long. So let's hope that, you know, we could get into the game super quick.
Should be very quickly, guys, but we do await this very exciting matchup between Kurita Zeus and GC Busan Red. Could be anything. Just don't know what to expect out of GC Busan Red, because if they're on the top form, not many teams in the world can defeat them. But we're looking at GC Busan Red of Season 2. They haven't been looking good, and it seems like even the bottom tier teams can still have a good chance of beating them out, which is bad news for GC Busan Red. But you know, we come to today's matches not knowing what form and what type of GC Busan Red they will be bringing out. Depending on that, we get to see the results kind of tiding one way or the other.
All right, well, we'll have to see how GC Busan Red has prepared to show us.
We're going to get into game number 1, guys. The first tag of this best of 7 to see which of the team of Kurita Zeus and GC Busan Red, who's going to take the lead. We're going to find out in this first match of the series. Game 1 here. Kurita Zeus against Sang Kim. Yunta Song's gonna be the first one out as a gunslinger, understandably. Here's the main DPS for both teams, trying to see who can get the better of each other.
Here we go, GC Busan Red definitely wants to beat out Kurita Zeus, not only to go to the winner's bracket, but to get that revenge match against Anarchy, now that they know Anarchy has won and gone up to the winner's bracket. So GC Busan Red not only wants to beat them, but they need that chance to redeem themselves against Anarchy.
Sooner or later, if GC Busan Red can somehow make it to the finals at the end of things, they might just have to face Anarchy sooner or later. It means that revenge, as you say, will be in line, but for the meantime, this is a team that they have to worry about with Kurita Zeus, who has looked good through the qualifications from Group B. You know, you have to get through this hurdle first before you can get to Anarchy.
Yeah, the start is definitely good, and on the side of GC Busan Red, Yunta-san solely taking out 2 interferes from Duggan Kang by himself. So if this continues, it's definitely looking on the side of GC Busan Red.
We're going to see what happens here. GC Busan Red sending out Yunta-san for the earlier parts of the game and forcing out 2 interferes from Duggan Kang. It's going to be the one to kind of go on the minor win on this resource trade. Otherwise, GC Busan Red, no huge advantage for them so far. Sang Kim still holding his ground with the assassin pretty well.
Sang Kim is also one of those assassin players that when he's feeling it, he just goes all out. We'll see what day he's on today.
Really one of the most inconsistent players, but sometimes in a good way. As you see, basically a free tag for both players. That no action really did occur on both sides. That just means we're gonna have to see things through and maybe have to kind of look for an extended fight to kind of decide the winner on this first set.
Junohan does get Typhoon back and forth here. Time distortion is used for Junohan. Duggan Kang keeping the pressure on, actually focusing down the thrall here.
Trying to bring the thrall back so that the damage will not come through, but over time it seems like the thrall will be highly damaged out just enough to get out. And it's eventually going to be the cool time. That's going to be the one to bring back the thrall back down to the ground.
There we go. We do have Yunta-san back out on the field. He is very confident to stay on the field and get those force tags and do those resource trades as you mentioned before. And so far it has been working out, and another tag out for Duggan Kang.
Pretty much a disadvantage for the Destroyer to go up against the Gunslinger. It feels like they want to go in, and Junohan starting off the damage, and we thought that it was going to be on the other side, but Byung-chun-jeon actually is the one to come on the Warlock and try to put the damage on. Yunta-san having a hard time.
Definitely needed to tag out there, Yunta-san. He had his confidence, he had his time, now he's back on the bench. But unfortunately for Sang-ho Kim, no no escape, so he tagged out. Another
that's
follow
a
tag out. Yeah.
That's a very, very early tag right back down. Just means that Byung-Chun Jun feeling like a threat towards the side of Sunny Choi and really had to go with Jun Han once again, feeling like he's the one to go on this mirror match and hopefully expect a better result for GC Busan Red.
The reactionary 2v2 perfectly timed. Not even a defensive or offensive, but Byung-Chun Jun!
Byung-Chun Jun taking a lot of damage. Jun Han right there, just helping out a little bit on the mixed. So it seems like the two Warlocks finding their marks today and they execute damage once again, damaging out the Thrall, going down immediately. But Jun Han now under a bit of a threat. What can he do? He does have the tap escape ability. Now he does use it, so he might just have to use that last tag point to get out of here.
Alright, well, this is not good defensive. Reactionary 2v2 coming in from both sides. Iron plating well placed.
Just the iron plating to make sure their teammates stay alive, but Jun Han still doesn't have his tab escape, so he might just have to settle for the time being, but does he have time distortion to get him right back? No tag point just being required for the time being.
Alright, here
The
we
Fury
go.
build of Doug and Kang.
Playing it very passive. They're waiting for their cooldowns to come back, especially on the side of Juno Han. He wants his body swap back, but the Thrall will be going in very soon, as you see on the timer.
This might be the Fury time for Doug and Kang. He might have to proc it very, very soon here. He does have 40 seconds left out on the field. Juno Han only 7.
He might want to get that chase and then use that Fury. We'll see what he decides to do.
Some mind games that can be played out
1
here.
second. Here we go.
Very
He's gonna go
close
for the
on the distance
Okay.
and finally procs that Fury. He's going to start off with the damage. Sunny Choi takes a bit of it already. Closes him in and we're going to see Doug and Ken trying to go for the aggression here. Iron plating. Choi fell to no aggression on the other end, but look at this. Continuing on the damage. Executes. Going to be damaging out the Destroyer on the other end. Sunny Choi finding trouble.
Sungjae Choi. I don't know if you want to lose here against Doug and Kang. He is a KFM main, only using the Destroyer for the team composition, but look at him take damage here.
Oh, look at this, the Destroyer ultimate, obviously trying to go through Sang-ho Kim, but it's going to escape in time. Just goes on the invis. No stealth needed on that one.
The tag out happens. Yunta-san comes in against Sang-ho Kim. Very low on health for Yunta-san. We'll see if Sang-ho Kim could kind of, make a difference here. A body swap.
So just finding it difficult and has to use that time escape now. And might just have to rely on Juno Han to come in for that time distortion. We see the Warlock ult being connected, but it's not going to definitely connect on that one interfere.
Yep. We are back to square one here. Yunta-san healing up a little bit slowly but surely. Got his health back here. Runs away from the assassin.
Jason finding a little bit of trouble now. He does get the time distortion from Juno Han, meaning that he's going to have the escapes back. He has to be a little more careful because he's not having the good time when it comes to putting out the damage onto his other side. Sang-ho Kim feeling pretty safe right now.
Yeah, Yunta-san usually on the offensive, not doing too much right now. There we go, finally making this offensive move, forcing out that stealth from Sang-ho Kim. We're soon going to see a defensive interfere come in, if not a reactionary 2v2.
We're moving in here. Yunta-san still moving about, trying to find the right angle to put in the damage. None coming about for the time being. What can he find with these two little guns? Not much to start off so far.
Yeah, they're definitely playing it way too passive here. They're just doing it one trade. Oh, there we go. Yunta-san always making his move first, as he should. Sang-ho Kim on the run.
See, obviously no chase coming through from that one. Byung-Chun Jun pretty low on HP. He's gonna have to throw all out to make it a little bit better. Still has to be a little more careful.
All right, there we go. The chase did happen with that tether blade. Junon out of escapes.
And we're looking at this now. The iron plane coming in. But we're gonna see the damage on the other end. We see the Sang-ho Kim with the poison damage. Oh! A lot of damage, but look at this. Sang-ho Choi coming for the execute damage. Really crucial there. And Byung-Chun Jun has to use a lot of tag point out.
Well, that was great on Byung-Chun Jun to stay alive and tag out here, not being greedy as we've seen in the previous matches.
Sang-ho Kim, be careful. Uses both his escapes. Juno Han does tag out towards Yunta-san, so no tag point for both of these players from GC Busan Red. Yunta-san's the only one left with that tag resource.
The Sun probably wants to stay out as long as possible here. Same goes for Sang Kim, but Duggan Kang does have that extra tag point, so we'll see what Sang Kim will do. But last time, this Gunslinger Assassin matchup, they were just afraid of each other, so they just stayed back and nothing really happened here. Maybe this time around it'll be different.
It is looking like we're going to go to that full 10-minute mark and go to the TKO, but at this moment it's hard to tell who has got more of the damage out of the two teams.
They've been going back and forth, same with the healing, so we'll have to see how the TKO ends up. But, you know, anything could happen within this 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Very well could be. We're still looking for significant damage that would change the tide of the game, make it a little bit more predictable as to who's going to take the victory in this game number 1, which will be crucial for this best out of 7. 1 minute left.
1 minute, everybody gets another interfere point. They're going to start using it up now. But Yunta-san on the Gunslinger not being able to do too much damage as we like to
nice
see.
chase. That's coming up, and Juno Han finding trouble. Has to use the tap escape right away, and it's going to find the spinning axis both the destroyers out there, but 40 seconds left to go means that they have to go all in or nothing. Go big or go home, because that game 1 victory is going to be dependent on the damage, not based on how many kills you get.
But this time around, at the end of the day, GC Busan Red taking so much the brunt of the damage here from Kurita Zeus.
Juno Han finding it difficult to really just neglect the damage all forward, but now he's going to find the counter damage on the other end. Duggan Kang finding the Hobas from Juno Han. This might be changing the tide of the game. We're looking at Sang Kim now on this last 10 seconds of the game. Can he get a lot of damage done? The thrall doesn't count as a damage dealt. You have to get through Juno Han to go for the Warlock directly.
We'll have to see. Oh, it's so close. They've been going back and forth, but it still seems as if Kurita Zeus is on top. I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem like Kurita Zeus did more of the damage overall.
That's a lot of damage for both teams already, and it really could be a GC Busan Red. You talk about that 40,000 difference, not even of a difference advantage for GC Busan Red to pick up that game number 1. That goes to Juno Han, putting out the damage at the end. That found it a little bit more crucial. Would have been a lot closer if he hasn't. But really, now the crucial clutch coming in from GC Busan Red is going to get that game 1 victory.
All right, well, we do see Kurita Zeus on the screen right now. They seem confused. They're like, oh, what do we do? What have we done? And they already got 1 loss in their pockets, and now we'll be moving on to set 2 for singles, but let's see the replay here.
Really a long game. It felt longer than 10 minutes because of how kind of defensive it was for both teams and really looking for the angles to go through. And that was one of the damage right there, and Byung Chen Jun finding it difficult. Talked about Duggan Kang and the rest of Kurita Zeus really trying to get the damage forward here, but you know, whenever you do have that brunt of the damage you always talk about from the Warlock, that all does add up and accumulate to really incredible heights of damage.
Yeah, you know, it was a very confusing game here because Yunta-san was under 50% health, but now he's back to full health, and Juno Han is under 50. So, you know, everybody's just been getting hit and then healing up, getting hit and healing up. And, you know, it was a very close game, even if it did go down to the TKO, and we saw the numbers. You know, the overall damage was very high, but at the end of the day, the small difference that came out from GC Busan Red's Juno Han, as you say, made that difference at the end.
Really just about 1/7 of the damage difference when you talk about the calculation of that Busan Red. Fans all over. And really just GC Busan Red is getting the support that they've really been accustomed to ever since from Season 1 and way back before, obviously, but here they are looking like a stronger team once again, at least in terms of game number 1. We're going to go to game 2 and onwards to see if that fact will still continue, or we're going to see some surprise coming from Kurita Zeus.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, from our experience, game number 1 really doesn't tell us too much because same goes for Anarchy. You know, they almost did get reverse sweep. They did end up on top at the end, but all these teams here, they could always be shaken up. They could always have a downfall, so we'll have to see what happens.
Ah!
Okay?
Okay. Yunta-san on the Destroyer. Duggan Kang on the KFM.
Seems a little happy right now with that first win in his pocket. We'll see if it will lead to a second victory for GC Busan Red, or will Duggan Kang, bringing out his real main, the KFM, get a victory for his team, Kurita Zeus.
So Duggan Kang playing the Destroyer usually in the tags. It's going to be played by Yuntason on his single, so very interesting matchup for Duncan to bring out the KFM, but we're going to get right into it, guys. KFM versus Destroyer on Kuritasus and GC Boots Ren. Game 2 to decide who's going to get the advantage, or we're going to see Kuritasus pull back to even. Let's find out. Kang on this offensive end on the KFM. Destroyer Yuntason just looking for the right opportunity to go all in, trying to get that crucial stun is going to be the strategy.
See how this plays out. Alright, Typhoon smash on the offensive for Yuntason, but the tab escape does knock him down. Rising Dragon connects. He's going to go for that combo for the time being, but there we go. The early gust has been used.
Yeah, it's a preemptive gust, and I just have to regret that. Dougie Kang comes in for another series of stun, but does have the persistence.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Dougie Kang, like you said, will and that CC to continue that. Oh, that back roll does not. No chase happens. Persistence is used though, so we'll see if Dougie Kang will also once again make his move, because he'll get his escape back in 3 seconds. Yuntason in 5 seconds.
Seconds here for Yuntason to get the escape right back, so it's up to Dougie Kang to put out as much damage as he can for the time being. Now he gets the escape back. Now he has to just use a gust. It's actually not going to be rock, so very good escape from Yuntason on that occasion. And then we're still going to see if Dougie Kang will be forced to use his escape. Not for the time being.
The mid frost getting out of that grip. The back roll chase does happen here.
Aerial, very nicely done. And Yuntason has to find some make tough decisions, but not really, because it just gets out for free once again.
The Syrian on this. Hurt Yuntason a little bit. Saving that gust. Still. Knockdown.
Okay, it's seeming like Dougie Kang is on the winning end for the time being. Yuntason, can he get a miracle comeback after this one? Because they heavily damaged down and still finding no answers to his opponent.
Yeah, Dougie Kang is just jumping around, waiting for the timing. Yuntason, he knows that he can't make his move. Any abrupt move from Yuntason, Dougie Kang will definitely take the advantage and capitalize on that. But Typhoon
doesn't really go to the wall bang, and really just going for the counter attack, and just might be the override here. Yuntason looking like he's gonna be knocked away, but Dougie Kang just one hit away from it. That's gonna be it. Dougie Kang gets him onto the last area. Yuntason will be out, bringing the score line back to 1-1.
Yep, 1-1. KFM played it very calmly. Same goes for Yuntason. He did try to do something, try to make a play, but you know, it's really bad for to give that tab range for that area. So when a KFM gets far away, 50 meters, tab into that, you know, jump into aerial your opponent, or if you want to get close to a KFM, that's also bad news. So for Yuntason, he just had to make Dougie Kang use his escape and make his move, make his offensive move, but Dougie Kang did not give him any room.
Really didn't, and just continually put out the chip damage all the way through it. Didn't allow Yuntason to react to any of his opportunities, and Dougie Kang looking good as KFM main that he always was, and knowing the whereabouts, the ins and outs of the Destroyer really had him read all throughout on that one.
Definitely, and you know, you guys saw the match. Dougie Kang did not have a single trouble mind. You know, in his mind, he was just calm. He knew what he was doing. He probably thought he had it in the bag from the first trade that he did with Yuntason, and it did come out to be true. And we're gonna be moving on to set 3, which is back to tab.
It's been a long one already. In a full 10 minutes of that first tag match, and almost a full 3 minutes of that single. Meaning these guys are not gonna just rush into things. Obviously, you're gonna take their time to kind of see what their opportunities does arise, but just means that Kuritazus and GC with Red might be a close one once again, but we don't see an immediate knock-on on either side, meaning that we just don't know the winner until we get to the end.
Oh yeah, we don't know. It is a 1-1, not like the other game where it was like a 2-0, where, you know, one team had the potential of finishing it early, but this time around, this Kuritazus versus GC Busan Red seems a lot more closer here. So like you said, Joe, we'll have to play a couple of more rounds or sets to see which side is a little bit stronger than the other.
And once again, we're still reminding back to the fact that GC Busan Red, if they were on their top form, it wouldn't be that close. I thought that it would be a pretty easy pickings for GC Busan Red to kind of handily beat out Kuritetsu's even in the singles, but as you can see, it's not the same GC Busan Red that we're accustomed to. It just means that there's taking a lot more effort for GC Busan Red to pull off the victory. The same thing get done once again in another tag match. Kuritetsu and GC Busan Red currently even in the scoreline. Who's going to get their early lead in this best of 7? We're going to find out. Kim and Yunta-san out first once again. Gunslinger forcing out the tab escape from Sao Kim. Stealth is out.
Super early trades coming through. Yunta-san taking that advantage now. Will make his offensive move. Try to take out the Lotus of escape as well, which will cause any defensive interference to come in. But this time around, the offensive side, GC Busan Red comes in with that interfere.
That time distortion to give the cooldowns right back. Yunta-san is going to be the one to have another lifeline. Continuing on with his damage, and Sao Kim uses body swap just to try to get what he can get off his damage, and Yunta-san finding it difficult to strike right back.
Alright, both of them used one of the escapes. Yunta-san only had one. Sao Kim used that Lotus, still has his stealth. There we go, making his move once again. Yunta-san on the other side, making his move, making his aggression show, and Sao Kim calls for that backup, and Byung-Chan comes in with the time distortion.
Getting the escapes right back, but you can't repeat that process if you're Sao Kim. You never want to use your escapes uselessly. You want to make sure you trade out the escapes, if not even, and finding it very nicely to strike all these matters here. Once again, stealth and tab escape for both teams. He waits it out. So again, very slow pace as we start off the game, as we see another free tag out onto both sides. Most likely will be the case as we start off this game 3.
Yeah, that forced tag was very close. I don't know if Sung Ji Choi should have interfered there, but either way, Junohan comes in, forces that gust out, but the Fury is just destroying the Thrall here.
And Junohan a little bit either to do that. Gonna force out the tag already, and we thought a cheeky knockout. When you talk about, Sung Choi as it came in to interfere right on the timing where the force tag was gonna happen, gets him onto a knockout, and as soon as Junohan came in, went for the damage come through, not much going through it. Really, John knew exactly what to do on that one.
And we see here, Sao Kim back out, Yunta-san back out. These two people, they are afraid of each other. They don't really make any moves unless they have, all of their escapes. And right now, they have their escapes and they're still staying back. So, this isn't a Warlock mirror, guys.
Well, technically, Sao Kim doesn't have his little escape, so maybe that makes him scared enough to go in. But to make it point ending, it just means that really no aggression has been shown on both ends. Passivity in the term of the game. For game number 1 and now this game number 3, both tag matches looking pretty backwards in terms of what we want to see. No action oriented so far.
Let's see if anything will change. Once again, 35 seconds for Yunta-san and 45 for Sao Kim for that force tag. And these two, whenever they're on the field, they're just gonna force tag out and just let the clocks run.
They literally do nothing, but we see at the meantime trying to poke out. It's gonna be Yunta-san with that gunslinger. Pretty good for now, but Sao Kim, you're gonna have to start attacking sooner or later, but
Sang-ok has to remember he's an assassin. Maybe he's forgotten.
He's doing the first part of being an assassin by staying invisible, but he stays invisible forever.
Yeah, stays invisible, now makes his move. Yunta-san does pull up, but still. Oh, there we go, Sung Choi comes in.
Persistence being used by Sung Choi.
He's gonna want to chase that 4 second left for Sang Kim's force tag.
Nelson's gonna be very, very close, so he gets that Lotus in time. No chase on that distance, so Chin-Jun gets the throw out and wants to get for another long distance fighting.
Choi, it's okay for now. Ember Stomp is still down. He doesn't want to keep taking that damage. Yuntasan does come in for that offensive interfere, making his move, forcing that defensive reaction at 2v2. Duggan Kang out of interferes now.
I mean, Duggan Kang obviously used some of those interferes for that execute damage onto the throw, but otherwise, we're still going to see inside of Duggan Kang and the rest of Zeus. They're not going to have the Destroyer interfere for the longest of time now.
We do have Junon and Baekdun-chan, the Warlock Mirror. See, when it's a Warlock Mirror, I can understand why it's very, the pace is very slow, but now we have Sang Kim back out on the field, playing it aggressively against Juno Han.
Yeah, the ultimate did not connect for the side of the assassin, but Juno Han trying his own does not connect, means that the back row will come through for Sang Kim. Nothing to buy as that stealth goes out, meaning that the last escape is gone. Forcing out the tag, Duggan Kang does get chased as soon as he comes in.
Juno Han now doing a lot of damage. This is what we've needed. Whenever Yuntasan and Sang Kim were out on the field, they weren't doing too much to each other, but now Juno Han is spicing things up.
Really is now going to add to the damage charge once again. If we do go to another full 10-minute mark, that will be, once again, GC Busan Red looking like they're going to come out on top once again, unless things can really change up for Kurita Zeus.
Alright, we do have Yuntasan on defensive interference. 2v1 for now. Duggan Kang taking a lot of damage.
Kang, you have to be careful. Does tag out and it has no resources whatsoever for that Destroyer. Sang Kim now has to play a little bit more aggressive, even though he doesn't feel comfortable to do so, meaning that already pretty low on the damage trades, and they have to somehow kind of even things out, or at least try to get ahead.
Yeah, Sang Kim out of the field with Yuntasan once again, the two masters of time wasters.
There you go, Yuntasan is going to be bringing it out. Done is out on the field, and Duggan Kang is out as well, so Yuntasan trying to go for that ultimate, but really not connecting there.
Alright, well this time around, Duggan Kang definitely puts Sang Kim back in the bench. Doesn't want to waste any time because now, oh,
Okay,
too much damage here.
maybe you should have wasted time for the side of Duggan Kang. Just have to go invis. It's gonna go on the iron plating, and no resources for that next 15 seconds until we get to that 3-minute mark. Everybody gets to interfere right back.
But Duggan Kang taking too much damage. I know he came out to do some damage because they know Kurita Zeus is behind in damage. There's only 3 minutes left here.
Doesn't even go for that chase. That was in trouble right there. And Destroyer ultimate coming from Duggan Kang is not going to connect too much. And Choi holding very, very strong. The interferes now come in. Destroyer ultimate almost getting the... Yeah, that was a very nice iron plating. Perfectly timed. Duggan Kang almost predicted that play coming.
Wow, if he did get hit, oh, he gets eliminated anyways from Yuntasan. But if he got hit by something Choi's execute with that Fury proc, he would have gotten eliminated like maybe 3 seconds earlier. But either way, he is out.
Yeah, that's going to be trouble. Still continue on for Kurita Zeus, not finding any answers in this tag moment. And Sungjin Choi and the rest of GC Busan Red looking like they want to finish him off. And really, the Fury will come back after 10 seconds, but didn't even need that execute damage. They're really just executing out the throw, and Byung-Chun finding trouble.
Grab here, out and tags out once again. Sang Kim comes out. Now, Sang Kim definitely has to make something out of this unfortunate picture here, 2v3. Maybe tries to do a, make it into a 2v2 at least.
It is Assassin versus Destroyer. It should look good for Sang Kim, but still very, very passive for the side of Kurita Zeus, and that's not what you want. And what can be the more aggressive is going to be Sungjin Choi, actually. Yeah. Destroyer with that execute, putting so much damage onto the other side.
Right, there we go. Oh, Sang Kim. Defensive interference does come in out of all escapes. He does get chased with that back roll. Right. Everybody is out of tags on both sides. Juno Han and Sungjin Choi have that escape. Interfere here, so they might want to make a play out. Try to get some eliminations here to, make sure they get the victory, even if it does go down to that TKO.
Duggan Kang already went down, and Kurita Zeus finding Sang Kim. Damage still going down and down. The heals are bringing it back, but the HP bar difference has definitely gone to the favor of GC Busan Red so far. Now more so, and it seems like the second man will be knocked away, and Sang Kim is gonna be gone by the shots coming in from Juno Han, and Byung-Chun He's gonna have the ultimate. He's gonna have full HP. But I think he knows that the game is pretty much over now with only 1 minute left.
Here we'll see what he's able to do. There we go. Some damage done to Yunta-san, but the defensive interference does come in. Execute!
Oh my word. Just forget the throw. Put the damage onto the Warlock. That's fine.
Yeah, Yunta-san trying to finish off Yeon-Chun here.
And now we're looking for this immaculate play that will end out the game here. And the Warlock ultimate does not connect. 30 seconds left to go. Byung-Chun, it's just a matter of time for the time will run out, but they're not even going to allow that to go to TKO. Almost goes to the 10-minute mark. 9 minutes and 35 seconds just about to end that game, but GC Busan Red comes out as a clean winner.
Yeah, it definitely did. And, you know, in the beginning, when Yunta-san and Sang Kim were stalling a little bit, it's understandable because nothing too much has happened and they didn't want to give an opening to the opposing force or opposing side. But as the time progressed and the clock was running out of time, Kurita Zeus should have realized that, you know, they were low on damage output compared to GC Busan Red. And when Sang Kim came out over and over again, he still did nothing. And I'm pretty sure Sang Kim, out of the 10 minutes, Sang Kim probably had at least 4 minutes to 5 minutes of playtime on the field. And, you know, all he did was eat up the 5 minutes and then ended up dying first. Is that what you want to do?
It really is, and you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the side of Kurita Zeus, you have to do something for 10 minutes. And really, nothing coming forward. And look how healthy everybody on GC Busan Red is. All three players really taking no threats in terms of the damage. And, you know, it's a really easy game if you're GC Busan Red. When your opponent does no damage, you just deal more damage onto the event. Eventually, you're going to go down one by one.
Yeah. You know, the first tag, if they go down to a TKO, but this time around, GC Busan Red, at least they felt the slowness and, you know, the pace of this game not wanting to go that way, and they just went all out and started eliminating one by one. And I'm glad that it happened and it did not go to TKO, even if it was very close to it. Because, you know, GC Busan Red made a statement saying, all right, we're not going to let it go down to TKO this time. We're going to play it aggressive. You either come back and, you know, throw a punch at us or just take the punch and go out.
But you know what it is? We used 20 minutes to play 2 tag matches.
Yeah.
And almost almost entire 3 minutes to get one single on. So for 3 matches, we used a lot of time. So based on this roulette, if we get another tag, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Please.
Oh, that
Please.
tiny tag.
Yes!
No,
Yes!
I was thinking, oh, is he going to stop in that tiny tag that we saw?
Oh my goodness.
But
Yes.
Joel is happy, guys.
I'm happy. I don't want to waste another 10 minutes knowing that GC Busan Red's going to win in the end.
Yeah.
I just want to see a more kind of all-in situation for that 3 minutes. I don't care if it goes to all 3 minutes, but at least we know that both teams will be going for it all.
Definitely, and it is singles here, and set 5 is also singles, so, you know, good for you, Joe.
There
We'll
you go.
have some action here. Let's hope that Yuntae-san and Sang Kim won't come out, because we know what that means. We know what that means, and we're gonna play 3 minutes.
Well, you know what's the best thing? Yuto-san can't come out because he already played in that set 2. Now the set 4, who's going to be making the appearance? It's going to be the one to really see who's going to make the aggression, especially for Kurita Zeus, who's been lacking that all day long.
Yep. And right now the score is 2-1 for GC Busan 2.
Oh god, we got one half of that puzzle.
All
So,
right.
okay.
We got one of the masters.
Yeah, one of the masters of stalling time, but Junohan time distortion time. And, you know, you can just make sure you get that fast win. Junohan will be the guy to do it, but we don't have a clear winner yet. Sang Kim just might be hiding something under his belt for the time being, but now we have this team, GC Busan Red, who's now taking the lead, and a 3-1 lead by taking this win here would give them a really surmountable advantage to push forward.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like I was saying, it was 2-1 for GC Busan Red. If Junon comes out on top, it's 3-1.
That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get GC Busan Red to see if they can extend the lead over to a 3-1 advantage, or we're gonna see Kurita Zeus with Sang Kim push it back to even at 2-2. We're gonna find out in this next match. See Junohan starting off strong, going up in the end. Has a little sound for Sang Kim. See that poison breath trying to damage out with the bombard towards the thrall, but no damage going to Junohan.
Alright, Lotus used already here. Shackled. Ooh, stealthed out.
One more stun.
Yeah, back-to-back escape is never a good sign for an assassin. We'll see if Junohan will try to capitalize on this. I know he will try.
Junohan definitely knows this.
Oh,
Leech will come
there
through.
we go. The aerial coming in.
How much damage can we get out of this one? Still 5 more seconds before Sound King does get that Lotus escape right back. No continuous damage, kind of surprisingly, Junohan. He could have gotten a little more there.
Yeah, Shadow Slash connecting. Oh, it's not looking too great for Junohan either. Samus will get his stealth back as well. Thrall does come out. Junohan taking a lot of damage though, but in the air. A re-knock-up not happening here.
Okay, the Lotus escape being used. The stealth still available, meaning that Sound King is in a pretty safe situation. Wants to move forward.
There we go. Ooh.
Stealth does come through, meaning that Junohan now is his advantage, and now it is his moment to finish off the game. Not much HP to swipe away. But remember, Kuritazu's won the last single. They won the way to look at it again, but Junohan's not going to allow that to happen. And the last clutch that will come through onto the... Oh, but then that will be Junohan taking up another win. 3-1 advantage now towards GC Busan Red.
Yeah, you can see how happy Junohan was because at the late game, both Sang-ho Kim and Junohan, they were out of escapes. So, and they were very low on health. One CC from either one could have taken that, and Junohan made the first initiate and was successful and took the victory.
Now, we got one more singles to go, and this could end it right here if Sungjae Choi can win against. Seems like Byung-Chan Jun will be coming out if that's the way the rule works, but we're still looking at this now and see who's going to make an appearance, but should be very interesting because Sungjae Choi on the World Destroyer should be the one to come out as the hero of GC Busan Red to kind of remind them that they are still one of the best teams out there. See what happens though.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but you guys just saw in the replay, they're both out. They were afraid who will make that first move, who will land that CC, and Junohan made that first move and came out on top. But it seems like you're correct. Sungjae Choi is getting ready for this 5th set singles. Will he come out on top?
He has to be the one to do it. As the World Destroyer.
He's gonna go up against Byung-Chan Jun.
Yeah, Byung-Chan Jun is getting ready.
The Warlock versus Destroyer. And we've seen what the Fury Execute Destroyer could do to the Thrall and the Warlock. But we'll have to see. Will not Sang-ho, what am I saying? Will Sungjin bring out the Fury Destroyer?
Now with Byung-Chan Jun, he only has the Warlock register, so that's the only thing he can play. And Sungjae Choi only has the Destroyer register, so it means that we were not going to see any type of surprise classes picked. Sungjae Choi and Byung-Chan Jun very much expected to be their very much the loyal class that they've always been accustomed to. Byung-Chan Jun now kind of being put to the test. It's been pretty quiet. He's done his work, he's done his position, he's done his part, but he's never really stepped up to the plate, be that one guy to save Kuritazu's for being eliminated and going down to the loser's bracket. This is his chance now really to prove himself.
Yeah, he's never shined in tags or singles, and like you said, Joel, this is his chance.
We're gonna get to that potentially in the last game. GC Busan Red with Sungjae Choi, the World Destroyer, could finish this game off if we can get a win here. Or Byung-Chan Jun, can he step up to the plate and bring this series back onto their favor? We're gonna see what happens in the 6th game. Three-2-1 advantage, meaning Sungjae Choi and the rest of GC Busan Red are smiling as they know they're one game away going to the winner's
Gus
bracket.
is used already though for Sungjae Choi, and he's on the Fury build. All right, wallbang.
Let's go all or nothing here, and it really doesn't. Wallbang still
Timing it, he's
going.
timing it. There we go.
Stun.
He's playing it carefully because he's out of Gus. There we go, timing it.
Meticulously.
No
The back
escape.
roll.
All right, there we go, tether play. Leech also back roll.
No chase coming through.
Fury proc.
Okay.
He's going now. This is his time.
The thrall's gone. Oh my god! Ah! What?
But don't forget, he's still out of Gus. He doesn't get it back. Byung-Chan Jun lost his chance.
Oh! And it's not over yet.
It's not. Gust used once again. Oh, this is not looking good for Sunny Choi as well. Tether
Oh,
blade.
no. Okay, we're looking at this now. Sunny Choi
Oh,
so
into the
close.
air. It's okay. There we
Stun
go.
that will come through and execute. That was a lot of damage. I was looking at the HP bar of the Thrall and the Warlock at the same time. Damn.
Yeah.
Just like, whoop.
You saw that big yellow bar. That's the
Yeah.
damage that was done.
Yeah.
And, you know, it registered on the computer, but it didn't bring it down yet. So that's why it turned yellow, and humongous damage coming in from Sunny Choi.
If you guys are new to Blade and Soul, by the way, and want to get a high damage class to play with, play the Destroy. It literally
Shadow Destroyer, execute.
It literally destroys.
Yeah. You know, usually most of the time when both of the players are on a similar level, many would
Look at
think.
this. Look at this. What the heck? What the heck?
Many would think the Warlock is, you know, on top compared to the Destroyer, but it was close though at the end.
Yep.
Youngchun Jun had a couple of opportunities when Sunny Choi was out of Gust, but he was unable to make that into a win. But either way, Sunny Choi just did one major attack and he just took out like 80% of his health.
The conclusion is that the World Destroyer is broken.
Yeah.
And we're done with the series.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we are. Okay, so
You
GC
forgot about
Busan
that.
Red takes the victory, and they will be going up against Anarchy, and Kurita Zeus will be going up against Bang once again. This is back to their original groups.
We were so focused on the fact that the damage output was so crazy, we forgot the fact that GC Busan Red are now going to the winners bracket. The series is over. The broadcast is over, guys.
Yeah, it basically is, and you guys will definitely get to see, you know, next week's matchup coming up very soon. But wow, World Destroyer. He's, you know, always finds a way to come back out.
Group A reunited at the winners bracket with Anarchy and GC Busan Red will be up against each other just again.
Yeah.
And we're going to see the Group B kind of joining back again, not so happily at the losers bracket. All this will happen just next week, and it should be very, very exciting.
Well, here we go with the results of today, and like I said before, Anarchy winning it out, sending Bang to the losers bracket of the semifinals, and Kurita Zeus losing out 4-1 against GC Busan Red. They'll be going back to their respective groups. Unfortunately, it was definitely not intended, but it actually is happening, and Anarchy, GC Busan Red will duke it out once again. Same goes for Bang and Kurita Zeus, both of them having their revenge matches.
You know, after today's matches, I kind of sensing in my tingling senses, kind of seeing GC Busan Red coming to Season 2 and really disappointing and looking like one of the worst teams out of the league.
Yeah.
They might just beat Anarchy, go to the finals, and whoever comes up from Bang and Kurita Zeus or Anarchy once again, doesn't matter. They might just be Season 2 champions once again.
Wow, that would be amazing. That would be a story where GC Busan Red drops down all the way after Season 1, hitting the peak, going down, and then hitting the peak once again in Season 2.
That's the story of richest to rags. Two riches!
Yeah.
That's a back and forth bipolar story if I've ever seen one. And GC Busan Red, they're on their way, looking good today. If they can keep on that forward, they might just be season champions again.
Yeah, and you know, it would be very interesting to see. Don't miss out on next week's action, because it's going to decide who actually makes it up into the finals and who has to play another day of this tournament to try to make it up and not even, you know, have the possibility of making it.
Of course, the next Saturday and next Sunday will decide the Season 2 champions. And just a week after that, we're going to decide the World Championship qualifiers to see which Korean teams will make it through to that World's Great Finals that will come through. Amazing stage that's in preparation already, I've heard from NCSoft, and great stuff on the way. But we're going to focus on Season 2 for now, because for the meantime, we're going to try to find out if GC Busan Red still has what it takes to still call themselves the best team in Korea.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that.
We're going to just kind of close it out for the day, and they'll end the broadcast with me and Ending Life. We're going to see you next week for more Blade and Soul action. Join us for the last week of Blade and Soul, and we'll see you then.